Hello, I'm Malcolm Phillips, and this is the first in a series of tutorials that will help you create your very first map. And in this first tutorial I will be showing you how to create brushes and how to texture them, among others. Now, if you want to start creating a map, the first thing you're going to need is a floor for your players to stand on. So if you want to create a floor, simply go to the left here and select the brush tool, Shift B, and then to the right here, where it says texture group, hit browse. This will pop up the texture browsing window. Now, for ease, speed and convenience, we're just going to use the development textures, which are easy to recognize, easy to use, and they are used by most mappers to get a main idea of their map before they actually use the textures that they want. To find a development texture, inside of filter, type dev, and that should pop up all the development textures. The one you're going to need is are these two, mainly, and we're just going to start with the red side of the map. So double click on the red texture, and with your brush tool selected, simply go to the top view window over here, and click and drag to make a nice square. So we're just going to make this 704 by 1216. Now you have a selection of a brush, and to make that brush actually happen, hit enter. And now there will be a brush in your virtual space. This window in the top left here, this is your camera window, which is the 3D window. To navigate through the 3D window, while you're hovering over the 3D window with your mouse, hit Z. This will change your cursor into a crosshair. And now you can move through the 3D space with your mouse and the W, A, S, and D buttons, just like you in game. Now, you can see the plane right over here. I'll just zoom out a bit so that you can see it. Ta-da! A nice red plane. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to copy this exact same plane to the other side and turn it blue. Now, to copy a brush that you made, go to the selection tool, select your brush. It should still be selected if you didn't click anywhere. And while holding shift, click and drag your brush upwards. And that should copy your plane. Which it did, hooray! I'm just going to keep this as it is in the top window, like so. Now we're going to make that side blue. To make this side blue, go to the Toggle Texture Application menu by pressing Shift A, or the little button to the left here. And you will get the Face Edit Sheet dialog, the texture window, as I like to call it. And the only thing you have to do is click Browse, and select the blue texture by double clicking it, and then hit apply. By clicking apply, you will apply the current texture to any brushes that are selected. Now you have two planes of one red and one blue. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to create a set of walls. So what we're going to do, we're going to make the red walls first. Oh, by the way, to stop being a 3D view, simply hit C again. Sorry, I forgot to tell that. In any case, what we're going to do is we're going to select this brush, and we're going to duplicate it to the left by one block. And then by clicking and dragging one of these blocks, we're going to make it smaller, like so. And inside of our side view window, I'm not sure which side this is, but we're just going to drag this up one bit. And we're going to make it fairly high. I'm going to make it 320. And this is because I'm going to make two floors in here, and 320 seems like a good height. You can jump on the second floor. As a benchmark, so to say, a player character is 94 hammer units high, if I recall correctly. Oh, it is in fact 72 hammer units high, sorry about that. In any case, we're making the walls. So we have made one wall over here, and we're just going to take this wall, shift, click and drag, duplicate it to the other side, and duplicate one to over there by using the squares. Make him move so. And ta-da-da, you will have walls. Now, we're going to do exactly the same thing at the other side. Duplicate, make it smaller, move one pixel, make it bigger, copy to the other side, copy to the back, just shake, ta-da. That's how you make walls. Last thing we're going to need is a ceiling. So we're just going to take the two floor planes here, and inside of a side view window, we're just going to shift, click and drag on top of the walls. If you aligned it to a grid, to a fairly large grid hopefully, which you should always do because the grid will be your best friend always, it should look a little something like this. And basically you have a fully functioning room which is closed and has no leaks, which is a good thing. Now, to add a little bit of variety, I'm going to make tiny walls to the side here. I'm actually going to make the grid a bit smaller. We can do this by making the smaller grid left bracket button right here. Click that, and the grid will become smaller. Now we have a grid of 32 by 32 hammer units. So we're just going to drag this wall up to over here and duplicate it to over that side. And we're going to take these walls, copy them to the other side, which is the red side, and we're going to make them red. Apply. There. For some variety. I'm actually going to scale them down so you can walk over these walls on the second floor that we'll be creating. So, we're just going to select all these walls, and we're going to drag down this by a bit, like so. Ta-da! Wonderful, isn't it? Yes, just shut up. Be careful with scaling multiple brushes at once, because if they are not the same dimensions as the walls that we just created, you might create brushes that are not aligned to the grid and have weird dimensions, so always be careful with that. In this case the walls were all the same dimensions, so it's okay to do that, but don't do it too often, you might screw up accidentally. The next thing we're going to do is create a second floor on top of these walls. So we're just going to select this wall over here, click and drag, make it smaller in the side view window, make it wider, and make it bigger. A bit bigger. There. Ta-da! And we're just going to copy this over to the other side here, and make it blue. Sorry, wrong window. Blue. Apply. Wonderful. Now, what I want to do is I want to create a hole right here where the walls are. So I want to create a square hole, so to say, over here. Now, there's two things I could do. I could do this, making it resizing, copying it again, and resizing it like so. Or if you really don't feel like doing that, there's a cutting tool, which I'm going to show you right now. If you want to use the cutting tool, go to the clipping tool. Sorry, apparently it's called I always call it the cutting tool. Oh well, doesn't matter what you call it, the function is the same. Click that button over there and drag where you want to cut this brush. So make sure that the brush you're actually cutting or clipping is selected, and draw a line that you want to cut it from. So just click and drag downwards. What you want to do is you want to click the clipping tool now until both sides are white. If both sides are white, that means that they will both be created, and if one of them is red, the red one will be deleted. We don't want that, we want to keep them. So both of them are white now. Hit enter and select one of the brushes that is left that you want to cut in further. So we're just going to do this again. Clipping tool, drag a line straight down, hit enter, and now we can take this brush and simply resize this. Is it quicker? I don't know. Is it more convenient? Sometimes. So do whatever you please. That is just the clipping tool. If you want to use it, now you know. Now there's more things you can do with brushes, and one of those I'm going to show you right now. We're going to make a simple brush here. We're going to make a ladder so that the blue team can walk up to this platform. I'm just going to copy this over here and resize it. Make it fairly long. And we want this ladder to be slanted so that you can walk from the ground floor here to the platform there. To do this, we're going to go to our side view window over here, and with it selected, click on it, and the squares around it will turn into circles, which is a good thing. With the circle tool, you can rotate them. Rotate the brush. And we're just going to rotate it like so, and put it up against the platform. Like so. And we're just going to go back to our resizing grid here, and we're going to make it so that it is neatly aligned to the grid, which I suck at. Oh well, good enough. In any case, for the basic idea, it's there. If you want to rotate brushes, that's how you do it. There's one other tool that you can use, which is the slanting tool. If you click on it twice, you will have 4 little blocks, and you can skew your brushes. I know it's called skewing. I don't know how to pronounce it, so if I just pronounce it incorrectly twice, sue me for it, I guess. Sorry. I'm Dutch. In any case, that's how you do it. You can just drag these and they will become slanted. Hip hip hooray. Now, I'm just going to delete this one because we won't be needing that. I'm going to copy this ladder to over here. Like so. I'm actually going to move this one in a bit. And what we're going to do is we're going to copy these 2 ladders to the other side for the red team to enjoy. So, once again, with the selection selected, click once, grab the rotating tool, and rotate it until it is neatly rotated. And once again, texture dialog, browse, red texture, apply. And that's basically it. Now you have the basic outline of a map. So congratulations, and follow some other tutorials, I guess. See you.